The following is a production of the University of Minnesota, driven to discover.
Hi, this is David Arundel, your host for the Peer Assisted Learning Groups podcast. Thanks for spending some time with us today. In this podcast episode, we feature an interview with Kristen, who is the program manager for the Peer Study Group program at Houstanic Community College in Connecticut. She shares about the rapid growth of the SI program and the challenges faced by implementing it at a two-year institution. Kristen finishes the interview by sharing what she has learned personally and professionally from her experiences in the program and with the SI leaders. In addition to this audio episode, I also provide a couple of PDF documents. First, an overview of the community college, and second, an infographic about the Peer Study Group program. Well, let's listen in on our conversation. Well, greetings, everyone. Glad to have you here for today's episode. We're talking with Kristen, who runs a program, Supplemental Instruction in Connecticut. Kristen, please tell us who you are, a little bit about your institution, and about the program that you manage.
I absolutely will. Thanks, David, for having me. I am a professor of English at Houstanic Community College in Bridgeport, Connecticut. We are a minority-serving institution. We are one of 12 community colleges in Connecticut, and it's a really wonderful place to be because our community is filled with a diverse group of learners. The program that I coordinate is, like you mentioned, Supplemental Instruction, which is different than baccalaureate SI programs because our school is community college. So our students ideally are only there for 2 years, which makes sustaining our program difficult because our leaders aren't there for a very long time. So the hunt is real to find the extraordinary leaders that make our program successful. And they are the foundation. They are the success. They are the winners of SI. And we would be nothing without our incredible leaders.
Well, tell us a little bit about the scope of the program. What kinds of courses are served?
Well, when we are only 4 years in 2021, we are entering our closing our fourth year of SI at HCC. We started piloting it in a developmental studies program, just trying to see what we could do. Again, as I mentioned, we're a minority serving institution. Minority students really need to build social capital to seek resources that will lead to academic success. Having leaders in their class builds that social connection. It makes it easier for them to receive the help that's offered to them. So we wanted to try it and see if it would fly in a community college. It's certainly been around since the 70s and four-year institutions, but would it work in a community college? So we started, as I said, in developmental studies, and it was met with great success. And our plan was to expand after a couple of years, and instead we expanded after the first year. Where we started, in developmental studies, we are now throughout all 5 disciplines. We leaned towards STEM for a couple of years, and now we're all over, which is really exciting. The arts, criminal justice, childhood education. So any class that warrants help, that has a high DF or withdrawal rate, we try to place one of our incredible leaders in.
Well, one of the phrases that I noticed in your description was high-level thinkers and self-empowered learners. That's a real powerful phrase. That obviously was carefully chosen. And why did you choose that?
I am going to let you find that out when you interview my leaders. They are incredible people. Community college is different than residential. Our students fit education into their life as opposed to fit their social life into their education or their work life into their education. So we have these leaders who are parents, who are full-time workers. And our workers are not working in the bookstore. They are on the ground doing jobs, especially during COVID, that put them in real danger. And they're heroes, right? These people not only have the incredible fortitude to choose education and themselves, to pilot themselves towards goals that are far-reaching, but also manage many other things along the way. These are incredible empowered learners because of the choices that they make. And they inspire, as I said, our minority students specifically, their resource of just being there, of making that social connection. I always say that our leaders, and I think teachers, I think you would agree with this, that our goal is for our students to see that we see them and we hear them. And it's even more important during COVID when we are through the screen, that we see them, we hear them, and our leaders make that happen. And because of that, our programs continue to be successful.
Well, as we're finishing up on our conversation here, I'd like to turn the focus to you. And that is, what are you getting personally and professionally out of this experience of being in the SI program?
Well, personally, I have to share with you, and I've said it to, I think Rebecca, one of my leaders, I said this to her. I was kicking and screaming when they asked me to run this program, to try it in a community college. I'm an English professor, so my heart's a little bit bigger than other people because of humanities. But I was like, no, I don't want to take you out of my class. I don't want to be out of my classroom. I love my students. So I said no. They came back again. And I always say to my students, I need you to embrace your discomfort. That will make you successful. It's hard. And I said to myself, I am definitely not practicing what I'm preaching. Let me embrace my discomfort. So I jumped into SI, and boy, David, I am so glad I did. Way to fill my cup. It has filled my cup in so many ways. One, personally, the opportunity to share even one semester with these amazing leaders is a huge reward. And to see students reach their full potential, which would not have happened without supplemental instruction. There's just nothing better than that. And just to witness that success has filled my cup personally. Professionally, I have proven something that I think I was just word speak and not actually through action, where I said, embrace that discomfort. I did. And it is phenomenal as a teacher to see the success of successful students help those students, but also the skill set that I see my SI leaders have to present lessons for every workshop that they run. And I get to beg, borrow, and steal some of their ideas. They're brilliant. They see it through a different lens than the teacher. And it's really wonderful to get that scope. So it's been the most rewarding opportunity for me, both as an educator and just as a human being, seeing people, hearing people.